must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Today, thousands and thousands of Africans and many countries in Africa have conflicts. Notably, from Libya, Cameroon, Nigeria, Biafra, and Boko Haram, to Democratic Republic of Congo, of where we have seen a resurgence of the past military and conflicts coming back in that country. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been displaced, killed, maimed, tortured, raped, several of them dying of hunger, starvation, and other natural causes. The fighting seems not to be ending. For the sake of Libya, the Libyan recognized international government is under siege in Tripoli from another faction recognized by Egypt, France, UAE, and other countries. Whereas the one in Tripoli is recognized by the UN, it has been bombarded, has been strangulated, and many millions of Libyans are dying of hunger, lack of water. The water system has been cut off. The bombardment goes on. In Democratic Republic of Congo, we've seen more of active rebel activities returning to the region after some silence has been observed. When we come to Cameroon, we see millions and millions of Amazonians slaughtered. Yet, when you come to Biafra, again millions and hundreds of millions and millions are worried, displaced, tortured by the Buhari regime. Yet again in the north, we see Boko Haram killing, maiming, abducting, and burning down villages in the same Nigeria. When you cross over to Central African Republic, the same is the history that has littered Africa. While all these events are taking shape, Africa is silent. Africa is not making enough efforts to find a solution to what is causing the problems in Libya, in DRC, in Cameroon, in Nigeria, Biafra, and now you add in Khartoum, Sudan. As people die, the people of Africa have no answers, have no solutions. There is nothing to endear to bring an end to the conflicts that have killed Africa. We seem to be new ones manufactured, old ones reignited, encouragement coming from external powers. One power that has been seen in the shadows of all these conflicts, especially the one of Libya that has escalated in the Sahara region of Africa, is France. When you come to Democratic Republic of Congo, the same country is in the shadows. The war can be seen is France. When you come to Cameroon, in the Amazonia, the one behind that has the key to bringing peace is France. Therefore, our question as Africans, why are we silent? Why are we not saying enough is enough of the wars? Thank you.
Very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. This is African Showdown. My name is Miriam Oguto, and as usual, we're coming to you from Kenya's capital here in Nairobi. And on Africa Showdown, we discuss things that matter and issues that affect the continent of Africa. And today we do have just two topics for you. One is on Kenya, Uhuru and Ruto's fallout. Who is to blame? We shall look at that, and we shall base that on the latest development in this very complicated relationship between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy. And then after that, we shall cross over and look at the AU and torn into factions over Israel admission. We know Israel has been lobbying to be included in the African Union, observer countries for over 20 years now, I believe, but it was just allowed that status in July this year, and we know that a couple of countries in the African Union from Africa are not very happy about this, because a lot of countries had taken sides when it comes to the war between Israel and Palestine, and a lot of African countries had felt that what Israel is doing in Palestine is equivalent to apartheid, like what we saw in South Africa. So they've been standing together with the people of Palestine. So bringing in Israel as an observer country for African Union, I think that now has brewed a storm, and a couple of countries in the African Union has expressed their displeasure. So we shall look at that once we are done with the Kenyan topic. So before we get into that, let me read us quickly the headlines today. And on the Sunday Nation, the main headline on the Sunday Nation is airport drama as Ruto ally arrested. And then we go on to the Sunday Standard, inside Uhuru troubled union, and the story that is the main story there. Another gold medal for Kenya in Tokyo Games, even as Eliud Kipchoge also, bagged another gold for our country. So a very hearty congratulations to all our athletes who continue to bring a lot of pride to our country, and we support you and we cheer you on, and please come back with more medals. Good job so far. So joining me on the panel this afternoon is Douglas Kirimi, all the way from Meru County. Douglas, a very good afternoon to you. Very well.
Good afternoon to you, Miriam, my friend.
All right, Daniel, not Daniel, but Douglas, your connection is not very good, so I don't know if you can do something about it. But in the meantime, we're also joined by Daniel Wesonga, or Sean Wesonga, as Douglas has mentioned him there. Daniel, a very good afternoon to you.
Yes, a very, very good afternoon, Miriam Ogutu, at our headquarters in Nairobi. Very good afternoon to our viewers here in Kenya, East Africa, Africa, and the rest of the world. And I'm glad to join the conversation this particular afternoon.
All right, very well. So let's just start with the complicated relationship between Kenya's president and his deputy right now, and see what's really happening. And even we shall use on Friday and a newspaper, and even today's newspaper, as our conversation premise this afternoon. And so DP Ruto allies claimed that former Premier's Raila entry into the Jubilee matrix after handshake largely complicated the DP's stay in Jubilee. Cracks in the ruling party began to manifest. The DP did not attend the historical event on the March 9th, 2018 handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his once erstwhile rival Raila Odinga, which would later change the country's political dynamics a great deal. The DP's allies lamented there were hidden cards in the handshake at Harambee House doorsteps, which swept away the tension of wartime within seconds. Many have argued that the wedge got wider after the DP somewhat defied President Kenyatta's call for an end to politics to allow him to work and deliver in his legacy. As far as you can recall, Daniel Wesonga, who is to blame in this frosty relationship and now the complete fallout between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy?
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And of course, I wouldn't go further, but if you look today, the unfoldings of the day, whatever has been happening in regards to the allies of the deputy president, it's only this week that we've seen fireworks coming from Harambee House Annex in the name of the infamous fruit farmer, that is Aydin, Harun Aydin, who is a very, very well terrorist and a mercenary from Turkey. And that kind of shady individuals are the ones who actually are very close to our deputy president. And at one particular time, we heard a certain pundit saying that Harambee House Annex is full of plunderers, entrepreneurs, and all the merchants of evil and impunity. And nothing could be further from the truth, Miriam, because President Uhuru Kenyatta, through his own confession, he told the country that during his first term, it was very, very impossible to deliver on his agenda because there was massive looting in the government. And whatever nonsense the deputy president is talking about, the bottom-up approach, we have to remind him that when he was given a chance, given 50% of the cabinet, given power and mandate to go and oversee the projects of the national government under the Jubilee Party manifesto, all he was overseeing was massive looting of public resources. Money was being carried in sacks in Harambee House Annex. He was moving around parastatals and ministries, collecting millions of shillings, which he was donating in Harambees, buying wheelbarrows and giving out in the roadside rallies in order to actually champion his 2022 presidential agenda. And therefore, that tells you that this is a person who was not interested in putting up a very, very veritable infrastructural structures that will enable and alleviate the law in society, the hustlers that he is talking about, so that we can be able to improve the living standards of the citizenry of this country. So when he talks about even his roles being taken away by the president and being given to someone else, it only vindicates the president that when he was given the mandate to work and deliver, he did not do what he was expected of, and instead they concentrated on looting the same funds that were meant for the same projects that they were looked upon to be accomplishing as the deputy president with half of the government. So I think, Miriam, the deputy president should not have anyone to blame. And the fact that that his boss lost confidence in him is a very, very big manifest that he cultivated his own downfall, and therefore he should not blame anyone for being chased out of government. He should not blame anyone for being falling short of glory with his boss, because to me, I think his greed for money, his greed for corruption, and his undying ambition for 2022 presidential contestation were his major downfall. And this is something which was engineered by himself. Neither did President opposition leader Raila Odinga be part of this particular tribulation that is following the deputy president right now. I would say authoritatively that he is the author of his own troubles, and therefore, even as he falls today, even as he faces more and more even trouble today, it is the deputy president who chooses his friends. It is the deputy president who chose not to work for the hustlers that he proposed to be leading. It is the deputy president who actually chose to start early campaigns, and therefore he should not apportion blame to anyone in regards to whatever trouble that he's in right now. I submit, Miriam.
All right, thank you. And indeed, what you've said there, the early campaigns, I think, was the point that President Uhuru Kenyatta didn't like so much. Remember President Kenyatta mentioning so many times, slow down on the politics, is still too early. But I think that was one point of departure. But also after the handshake, the DP and his allies accused the president and Raila Odinga, opposition leader, of having a hidden card behind this handshake and perhaps trying to propel Raila to be the next president. That is what they were saying then. But when you look at the events and how things have moved so far, and the alleged coalition talks in the offing between ODM and Jubilee Party, has he been vindicated, Douglas?
Miriam, thank you for that question. And also, sorry, I had a technical reach before. But Miriam, what we are looking at is a constitutional mishap that we had in 2010 when we were having this constitution. We did not envision a situation where we are going to have a deputy that is joined to you at the hip by the constitution, or a deputy governor joined to you at the hip by the constitution, a deputy that will cooperate with the terrorists in this country, a deputy that is going to work with all malcontents in the society. We have seen deputy governors, for example, a deputy governor in central Kenya, particularly in Nyeri County, a deputy that does not work with the governor, a deputy that is very defiant. The same case at the national level, a deputy president who works with the terrorists, with the shady characters, with the people who continue defrauding the people of Kenya and the people across the world, Miriam. We have had people like owners of Makid Motors who have been called 300 million when they were given the laptop stand at the Harambee Annex. I have had my friends and also people in higher circles say that Harambee Annex is a crime scene. It should be sealed off immediately, and the Deputy President William Ruto chased away from the Asras mansion, the Deputy President's official residence. They have now termed the Asras mansion a government facility that continues feeding people and also helping Deputy President William Ruto to become president at the behest of the people of Kenya that is supposed to be working. And Miriam, when you look back at your question, when you asked, is William Ruto vindicated? William Ruto has not worked his own threat the way he said he's going to stop the handshake. The handshake is going to be helping the Prime Minister Raila Odinga to become president in 2022. We have seen the exact intentions of the handshake as envisaged and also envisioned by the president and the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to work for the unity of the people of Kenya. And they have said before repeatedly that it has nothing to do with the 2022. It was only phobia from Ruto and his allies who continue in this country, Miriam, to bring chaos, economic chaos when they steal from the people of Kenya, bring economic terrorists like Harun Ayadin from Turkey, Miriam. This is something that we should be able to run from and also bring a constitutional change in this country, Miriam. Do away with the immunity that William Ruto is given, political immunity that he cannot be sacked by the president. Because, Miriam, if William Ruto of today, a Bible quoting and a Bible holding politician, is cooperating with the terrorists across the world, led by Aldin, who has been arrested by anti-terror police unit, why can't we be able to do away with that constitutional clause so that we can be able, Miriam, to do away with the terrorists in this country? Because, Miriam, I'm not preempting what William Ruto will do next, but if he can cooperate with a non-terrorist, Miriam, since his youthful days, Harun Ayadin has been a terrorist, Miriam, and in this country, Miriam, we cannot condone such behavior again. The handshake was not meant to make Raila become president. I have said before, Raila has what it takes to become president without being helped by anyone. But for William Ruto, a man who continues stealing from the people of Kenya and showing people of Kenya contempt, is a man that should be able, this is a solution that the president and the National Security Council should be able to arrest, because Miriam, if William Ruto is let loose to continue marauding around as a deputy president who sympathizes with terrorists and the terrorist financiers like I have been in this country, we can not only have chaos, Miriam, we shall have no country to call home. A man that continues cooperating with the dictators and the tyrants across the world to hold him to power, to become president in 2022, Miriam. For him, it's a do or die affair. For us as the people of this country, we want our peaceful country, we want our own country, and we don't want leaders cooperating with the terrorists in this country. At least the president cooperated with the opposition chief who has brought peace in this country, united the country, brought infrastructure projects in this country. William Ruto is even cooperating with the terrorist financiers to take development projects to a neighboring country. Very unpatriotic, Miriam. Thank you.
Very well. Douglas Kirimi, thank you, from Meru County. We're also joined by Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Miriam. Are you hearing me properly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Douglas, good afternoon, my dear brother. For a long time, don't think I've forgotten all about you.
Good afternoon, Doc. I'm here.
Yes, I have been busy up and down in Mombasa for that conference, which successfully went very well. Thank you, all of you. And I'm back here. Don't think I've forgotten all about you. I wish you very strong words in your campaign for that seat. And I will try to give what I can from the bottom of my heart for you, with prayers to win that seat in Meru on Jubilee ticket.
Most appreciated, Doc. Thank you. I appreciate.
I had a question asked here. What was that question that who asked the question that Ms. William Ruto vindicated? Who asked that?
I did.
Over what? Over what? He has been vindicated. Over what? Is in terms of what? Maybe, Miriam, you give me a few parameters.
Context.
Then
yes, the context. We were building the story, Doc, and thank you so much. Nice to see you from the Political Command Center. Initially, the backdrop of our story this afternoon, when President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga came together, they were very clear that the handshake was far different from any political leanings or his support for Raila come next year. That was not part of the plan. But DP and his allies kept saying, no, this is a way of bringing Raila through the back door and things like that. So as we've seen the dynamics and how they are today, have their concerns been vindicated? That was the question.
Okay, thank you. First of all, the coming together of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with Raila Odinga has nothing to do with 2022. That's point number one. Point number two, their coming together was to address the perennial violence that has been created, supplied, equipped, logistically, out of a bad election. Every time, every 5 years. Kenya has had to accept that every 5 years, Kenya has been going through bloodshed because of elections. From 1992, 1997, the only peaceful election that did not turn up was 2000. 2013, it came out. 2007, some of us came out and saw what happened. 2013, yes, but through, again, as a result of 2007, 2008, Miriam, there was a backlash. People were annoyed with each other. One side of this divide of Jubilee was upset, suspecting the opposition for having taken their people to the ICC. 2017 came, you saw what happened, it followed again. It doesn't need a Muzungu to talk about African affairs. Miriam, I'm told today I am a very bad person because I'm being called names, a fugitive. I'm being called so many things because in 2008, nobody called me a fugitive. When I stood up single-handedly to defend Ruto and the Ocampo 6, telling them that these cases were fake. Now, no Kenyan stood up to say it. I stood up, I risked my career, I lost my job, I lost my earning, I almost lost my life. Nobody said it. What Raila and Uhuru want to do and wanted to do, Miriam, has nothing to do with 2022. There is no vindication here. The people who should actually be ashamed are the people who did not want building bridges initiative. It is a redemption strategy to bring Kenyans to realize the 90 points. If you ask any of those MPs talking to say 90 points without looking at his phone, he cannot say them. Yet they are the points that are making Kenya have this problem, that are making Kenya to bring in terrorists, that are making Kenyans to work with people they have not checked the background. You are seriously a president of republic, a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. You have a whole team to check on the guests who should be coming to your office. It cannot be once, it cannot be twice, it cannot be 4 times, 6 times, 7 times, hallelujah, 8 times. Miriam, can you permit me to read the times that things have happened in this office, only office? Kirimi has just listed a few things. But look at the things. We have lost a younger man because of arms deals, fake arm deals. Sergeant Kanei is no longer here. Nobody gives Kanei's father food anymore. Nobody goes there to see how he is coping with the situation of the loss of a man who was earning them a living. We lost that man because of results of fake, dubious deals done in the office of William Samoei Ruto. Kimerero Emerald. The water would be flowing in dams today. Nobody would be saying Lake Victoria is full now, because that water should have been harnessed for it not to go to Lake Victoria to be controlled. Dams would be there. What did the deputy president do? He came in front of the nation. He said there is no money that was stolen. It was not 21 billion. It was 7 billion. But they added that there is a bank guarantee. That money will never be lost. A few months ago, Miriam, you saw the Italian man seeking money from Ulysses Kenya Embassy in Rome. We have forgotten that. Let me come to the elephant in the house. In fact, the word vindication, Miriam, should go to me. You should actually say Matsanga was right. I told you from day one that this background checks, I did not learn background checks yesterday. Remember, I am older than Mr. William Ruto. He's 52, I'm 65. Let him ask Mr. President Museveni and Rugunda and the rest and Salim Saleh. Even Salim Saleh is younger than me. The ones that is gossiping about me in Kampala, I know what is happening. Don't worry, Ruto. Your country is Kenya. Mine, I will go away. But my dear brother, I'm issuing a statement tomorrow. Watch. You will need me more than I need you. Today I want to tell you the truth. You will need me. I will not need you. You can gossip about me. You can tell those lies. The people you are telling those lies know me better. How do I know now? You think I don't have a telephone number of the President of the Republic of Uganda at my status? Surely, Ruto, you think so? You think if I am in distress of any kind, what have I done? I brought him peace. I shook hands. I lost money and I walked away. I don't talk about Uganda politics in Kenya. I have nobody that I've entertained of opposition in my house, in my sofa set. Nobody. But don't bring my name into your accusations that you label with your nicopumps like Oscar Sudi and the rest. Everything you talk there, remember some of those are younger people that I trained before. So don't think I will not know. Your problems are connected with money laundering. Solve them. Miriam, am I having a clear picture here? Mm-hmm. Kirimi, am I having a clear picture here?
Yeah.
And I was...
Yes, sir.
Am I sending the clear message?
Yes, sir.
Your problems are money laundering. Solve them. The governor of CBG said 3 trillion shillings were lost. You Kenyans are bringing us problems that we don't want to be involved. Account for that money. The man said he doesn't know where that money went. It was never changed. You sort your problem of money laundering. Leave Matanga out. I don't have money. I don't even talk to anybody about your affairs anywhere in Kenya. I only talk it as a journalist. I don't have any coin of yours. Neither have you ever given me a coin of yours. Sort your money laundering activities properly. Leave Matsanga out. In Zanzibar, they are waiting for you. Don't forget, Matsanga is a friend of the Tanzanians. You fly there again. Fly! Let me buy you a ticket tomorrow. Don't touch some grounds. Some people are very quiet. We don't have power like you have power to call people and give them money because you thought you would launder. Today you have been caught. Explain where the 15 billion came from. Why the account in Kampala was closed. Who closed it? Why were you doing things behind the president of Republic of Uganda? Wa rudi huko tena. Rudi huko tena wewe. Rudi huko, jaribu kurudi huko. Don't think there are no people who also talk and Museveni listens. Where rudi huko? You are doing things behind the president of Republic of Uganda. Then you come to attack people innocently. You bring people confusion for nothing. Which businessman did you tell the truth about the businessman? Did you tell them you took money? They are laundered money. Did you? Museveni cannot accept laundered money. Don't degrade the name of the president of Republic of Uganda because he doesn't do money laundering. Allah. If you thought you know politics better, tutajia usikia wewe. You launder money. You know the person you launder money with. Not Matanga. I've never laundered any money. So kwa wewe kukuja kuambia watu, oh Matanga, what has he done? I was not even here. I'm solving my own problems. This television station can be anywhere. I can take it anywhere. And it will be more deadly. on you, focused on you only. Moto, even in some parts of the world, you will not move. Mr. Ruto, wacha nikwambie hiyo. Please, to ask those who have ever tried me. Wewe, you danganya hawa watu ya Murang'a na nini hawa, not Matsanga. Me, I'm not in that category. Miriam, sorry. You have disobeyed, you undergrade, you belittle your president. You don't ask for permission. Then you go there to tell lies about me. You think those people they don't have a heart about Matsanga. What have I done? A poor man. You launder your money. You explain where the 15 billion came from. That's it. And Mr. Ruto, your darling Harun Aidin is in Ankara. We are waiting for him to return to Zanzibar. We shall return him. If you didn't know that Matsanga has a network. Hallelujah. Those small arms shipped to Zanzibar, which you are shown. Have you told the government? Hello? You want us to speak what? Don't try people. Don't threaten me. I know I have no state. But my dear, at one time you needed my help. And I spoke and the ICC cases collapsed. I went and spoke and the Rule 68 collapsed, which could catch you. It could catch you now. I was there. You didn't want me to go there. You wanted Ngunjiri to go there, you Ruto. You gave Ngunjiri money to go to the ICC and you did not want Matsanga to talk. It is Matsanga who saved that motion, declared it, and he died. Look, ask all the people who were there. The man you did not want saved you. Rule 68 will catch you now. So don't mix me in two things I don't know. I have never laundered any money. Neither do I intend to launder money. I don't have that kind of money. Ya kupanga panga to panga pange. What is the cry you are crying about? Harun Ayadin. Is he your boyfriend or what? What is the problem? The man has been found. A man who has, how can a man get 15 billion shillings without 2 employees in Ankara? He has no office. There is no office. The intelligence from France have gone there. The ones that investigated Ocampo have come for his offices. He has no office. He works in a toilet. And you tell me he comes to Uganda, to Kenya to pick 15 billion. And you pick a phone and tell him he is a front for money laundering. So you deal with your government. Cut me out, Mr. Ruto. I have nothing against you. I've never begged you for a penny. After all, you didn't even say thank you. You said thank you to Kuria, to Moses Kuria, who brought witnesses to fix you. I wish he fixed you properly. I came in to rescue you. The people who fixed you are the ones you are giving money. In the coast, you are giving money to Hassan Omar, who wanted you to be jailed for life. And you go around posing that you are very good. My friend, young man, we have seen a lot of things. Don't behave like a president, be nice. Don't behave like a president, be nice. Don't behave like a president, be nice. We helped to be nicer to come to power in 1979. President Museveni can tell you the story. We put him in power. I was working in the UNLF. I was a UNLF official, UNLA official, stroke UNLF. We installed him in power. He turned on us. He sent all of us, including President Museveni, to be an ambassador. We came back that same evening and overthrew him, bundled him in his sofa set, took him out, locked him in one house. Because he was not grateful. I did a great job. Be grateful to me. I have endured the insults. Because of my friend, I will stand the insults and I continue to be a friend until to the end. I don't like ICC in my life, and I will never like ICC. That's why when people wanted to collect signatures in Uganda to take President Museveni to ICC, I told Besigye, stupid, you don't know the law. There is no way nobody will give you a letter that you are collecting signatures. Uganda has domesticated ICC. You cannot take a head of state to ICC when it is domesticated. Is that a man who has a bad heart? I have no problem, I have no clue. And authoritatively, I want to tell you this morning, Dr. William Ruto, I have spoken to the people you speak to. In the name of God, my hand is here, and I have told them the whole truth about you. Because you started a war that I have now told them the truth. You wait, you go back there. I've told the truth to them. I don't want you to hear that I spoke the truth for 45 minutes. I've delivered the truth to them. What will you do? I've told them everything. I'm not I don't talk to clerks, cleric officers. I've told the real people there, the men, they have to know, they wanted to know. I don't have any problem with anybody. Your problem are business and money laundering. Explain how this man is so important in the whole world. Don't bring in karaoke. These are all side issues. Your pants have been caught down in the knees. Una pale ya kutembea wewe with those jeans from Turkey. I don't wear jeans from Turkey. I wear Marks and Spencer. Yes. I don't wear jeans. Those type of shirts like this. That when you sweat, they stick on your body. I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not Turkish. Turkey is breaking Africa. Turkey is breaking, has brought a bad relationship between Somalia and Kenya. Turkey went and paid for Somalia to take Kenya to ICJ. You people are not happy. You are not serious people. And you are praising Turkey. Turkey has taken over Libya. It is killing people in Libya. Why are you bringing them here? They have already made the relationship between Mogadishu and Nairobi sour. They have paid for you to be in court. Do you know next month the ruling is coming. We have a war in Indian Ocean. What will you say? Instead of the man Jupiter walking around to look for peace, he's looking for business na kuchora watu pesa. The fallout is simple. I cannot be a president and you are my Jupiter. and you pay people to insult me every day. I will not be your man. Even if you have a husband, Miriam, imagine you have a husband, and your husband pays other women to insult you every day. And then he comes in the house to laugh. How will you have the marriage? The marriage between William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, they say politics has no permanent enemy, but I don't think it is going to come back until the Deputy President of Republic of Kenya realizes that there is one head of state, the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenyan Armed Forces, that he should respect, not to pay Ndindi Nyoro, or Ichungwa, or Kangata, or Alice Wahome, to belittle Ngirichi. All of these are destroying the president's name. What has he done wrong? He's building bridges. He's busy crafting a route forward for Kenya. Mr. Deputy President, I invite you to come to Zimbabwe. That's my last word. Try the way you are doing that in Uganda. Come to Zambezi, the land of Zimbabwe. Maybe there's a lot of business there. Don't think we have no friends also. Yes, we are friends. I have suffered more than you have. I walked 5 miles without shoes, 10 miles each day without shoes. But I don't tell people I did not have shoes, and my shoes were bought by Onyango or at Onyango Butter Station. I don't have politics of compensative politics. Because Uhuru Kenyatta was the son of, I envy him. I must work hard, I must steal in order to get more, also to be seen. Because Uhuru was born in a Kenyatta family. I must also steal to come to this level. No. Whatever God has given me is what I take. You pray God, you tell people God. Are you the only one whom God created on earth? Also, some of us have even missed bullets. I have a bullet marker here. In the war, if I take off this shirt, it missed me by a whisker. Where is your bullet? Where is your bullet, wewe, civilian? Wachana wewe. Don't think it is only Kenya where people can put and talk. Internet is everywhere now. It could be deadly when you have 2 articles coming in the Guardian every day. I don't think you will even stand for elections. Wachana one. Leave sleeping dogs lie. We'll fight your way with Mr. Harun Eyadin Muendere. Bring him back in Uganda. They are waiting for him. Now the matter is well known. They are waiting for him. Kumbe, you have been recycling money. So Yadin, why can't Yadin pick a flight to Uganda from Ankara? He's about to arrive in Ankara in a few hours. Pick a flight and return to Museveni. He's waiting. You will cry, you will go to church and cry. They are waiting now. Because you told a lie, now somebody has straightened the truth. Yo. Whichever way it goes, there is very serious ramification. Uganda and Kenya cannot afford to destroy the relationship they have because of an individual doing money laundering. Yes, I signed a peace agreement. I shook hands with President Museveni. I was given my papers. I have never walked, never have I said Miriam again. I want to fight or go to violence. Let the ambassador of Uganda also hear this. He's my own relative, a friend from the same village we come, the same county, the same district. I've never discriminated him, and let him hear it properly. I shook my hand and said, the peace has come. I don't know whether Sam has that picture can show. If you can show them that picture. And I finished. Nobody has ever returned a war in northern Uganda. Again, it was over, it's almost 12, 13 years. What else do you want from me? My blood? I no longer talk about Uganda, whatever. Elections. When elections took place, I advised the Besigye not to take place. But did I do wrong? I told him, leave. Those who have done, do better. Don't go then. I have never met Mr. Musician, this younger boy. I have never, I don't know how I see him in the pictures, but I have never seen him. My cousin, the MP for my area, is the one who is not Matanga. He's an MP. He won his ticket on Noop. So deal with him, not me. Me, I'm a member of UPC. I'm not a member of National Unity Party. My party was Uganda People's Congress. Obote died, left it there. His children have spoiled it. I am still a member with a card. My party card of 1968 is still with me. And I will not surrender to anybody. Obote's children can join President Museveni. They can work, but not me. I'm sorry, I'm proud. I'm beyond that. My father died. He left me never to join any other formation. I've lost so many things in the hands of the same regime. I've kept quiet, Miriam. But a man sees you in Nairobi and goes to open his white teeth against you. Every time, laughing, opening feet. You open, please leave me alone. I've suffered enough. I don't want to cry tears for you to leave me. But once my tears drop, I told the story of Garang as I finished, Miriam. I lost a very great fighter. A great fighter called it Garang, my friend. He gave me $1,700. Go and pay school fees for your children. You are in exile. I was going to Zimbabwe. And I left. I went down to Zimbabwe. While I came back to London, 3 days passed. I open up the news, CNN, and it says the leader of South Sudan has died in a helicopter crash. I can't tell you what I had told him at Serena Hotel where he was living. That day, I've marked it in history. When I was leaving the door, he said he was going to fly to Uganda. What would I say? I said, you are going where? Greetings. And I walked away out of Serena, got in a taxi. That time there was a lot of potholes. So you had to run to the airport early. Mombasa Road was not as good as today. So Miriam, it is that situation that upon you can now discuss. The fallout is over. It is there. If they unite, Raila never said he does a handshake because of 2021, 22. No. Raila will win a vote without even the handshake. Raila again will win a vote Raila is an orator. He's an elderly statesman. Give him a chance. That's what the good politics is. Give him a chance. And he's convincing as many people to come on his side. I have never agreed. You know very well I don't agree with all of the people. No, I don't agree. I did not agree with the right honorable minister. Even when they invited President Museveni to open up the Great Lakes University, you remember in Kisumu, Miriam? President Museveni said, there is a man who does conflict resolution around here. Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear that, man? Yourselves, Wesonga, didn't you hear that? That I hear there is a subject called conflict resolution. There is one man here who has done a PhD in conflict resolution. He said it. And who had invited him? It was Raila. So not me. So at that time, it was me again, targeted. Because I was the only one at that time that when conflicts get finished, what is that degree for? Unaona mtu akupendi. Sasa, mnataka nifanye nini jameni? Niko na shida gani? So Miriam, I submit therefore. The rest will talk. The relationship is over. There is a detailed, serious English statement with Shakespearean English arriving tomorrow. You will see it and keep it as a history. That have now, my gloves, my hands are off. I have never, and I will never, belittle President Museveni. No. I will never call for sanctions against my country. No. I will never allow George Soros to bring a change that will destroy my country. No. I am a peacemaker. Back to you in the studio.
All right, and I think at that point we just, Doctor, you've concluded for us the Kenyan topic. The rest of the panelists had already had something to say about it, so maybe we just get into our next topic on African Union torn into factions over Israel admission. And AU Commission Chairperson Musa Faki has defended the decision to admit Israel as an African Union observer state. In a statement on Friday, Faki said he made the decision on the basis of recognition of Israel, the restoration of diplomatic relations with more than 2/3 of AU member states, and the express demand of many countries to that end. Israel was admitted as an observer on July 22nd after lobbying for 20 years. Israeli Foreign Minister Yair Lapid, in a statement, said on Thursday was a day of celebration for Israel-Africa relations, and noting that Israel currently has relations with 46 African countries. Faki's response follows the rejection of the move by 4 member states, that includes Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, and Algeria, who are opposed to Israel being an observer member for African Union. Doc.
Whoa! 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 Today, Miriam, the topics that you brought are awesome. This is one of the topics, Douglas Kirimi, and the rest of you, that I've been telling you time and time again, that African Union is captured. African Union is no longer African Union. It has disintegrated. It has been captured by a superpower in Europe. That superpower is called France. Now, I have been vindicated. As we speak now, we have 2 factions of African Union. There is a faction of African Union that says Israel should not have been admitted without discussion or further consultation. The point that I want to stand here and be now neutral is this one. The letter written by Muhammad Faki, which I think the studio can pick. If you have that letter, Miriam? If you don't have it, I can send it. The letter written by Jeff can collect that letter. It is there. Muhammad Faki says, now I've called an executive. You can hear that? He's now calling an executive to discuss the matter when he has created a chaos already. What these countries in SADC, Botswana, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Algeria, several countries are saying we should have been given a chance to discuss, to see the qualities, the criteria. Has it improved? Has it changed? Are things good now? Okay? But now when you see, you have already admitted Israel, can you return and go cancel it? Is it the African Union we want? The African Union that we look at, which writes a letter to Democratic Republic of Congo and to all heads of state not to recognize Mr. Tshisekedi as the president of Congo. No sooner had the ink dried on paper than Mr. Tshisekedi himself became the chairperson of the same African Union, which African Union chairperson said should not recognize DRC Congo elections. Is that the African Union we want? An African Union that sends observers and peace election monitors who give a report, Miriam, and said the elections were free and fair, turns up to say we don't recognize. The chairman himself says he doesn't recognize the elections. Is that the African Union we want? An African Union that looks at Nigeria falling to pieces, Boko Haram, kidnappers, abductors, taking the younger women for sex, sexual enslavement of all beautiful Nigerian younger women. Nigeria is soon going to lack women because all the women are being killed or abducted, taken by ISIS and Boko Haram. It is watching. Is that the African Union you want? An African Union that allows two governments. You have recognized the government in Tripoli, but you also recognize under pressure. You give General Haftar, Khalifa Haftar, the authority to come and say, I am also a partner in the same government and I'm in Benghazi. Is that the African Union you want? An African Union that cannot solve the wrangle between Ethiopia and Egypt over the Blue Nile water dam and allows it to be taken outside the contest with key players now funding Tigray Liberation Front, destroying Tigray, killing the people of Tigray, slaughtering the people of Tigray, Is that the African Union we want? An African Union that watches Mozambique come into chaos. No action, no statement, nothing. Is that the African Union we want? So for me, it has been a success so far. And Miriam, I want to say my campaign seemed to be picking ground. There seem to be people who are agreeing with me in Africa that we should change immediately and reform African Union. And those people are going to come on board very soon. I submit.
Very well, Doc. Thank you so much. And now, of course, Namibia, as I mentioned, there's one of the countries in Africa that is opposed to Israel being an observer in the African Union. And Namibian International Relations Minister Netembo Nandi Ndaitwah told the Namibian Sun the approval did not meet the basic principles of the African Union. And Namibia has accused Israel of illegally occupying Palestine. That is one bone of contention. But also in a quick rejoinder, a letter from Musa Faki responded by saying, following the decision to accredit the representative of the State of Israel to the African Union, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mohammed, wishes to recall that his decision falls within his full sphere of competence without being tied to any preliminary procedure, the statement said. But let's just go back to the reasons why Namibia does not want Israel to be an observer in the African Union. They're saying what Israel right now is doing in Palestine is equivalent to what was going on in South Africa in terms of apartheid and colonialism and things like that. Daniel Wasonga. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. What we are having today at African Union is a charity that is the African Union. African Union does not operate, like Dr. David Matsanga said, does not operate under the whims and the qualms of the people of African descent, and also the members who are the African countries who are supposed to be represented at the African Union and their issues discussed there. Mohamed Faki saying that it does not fall, his decisions do not fall under primary procedures, shows the contempt that he has for the people of Kenya as he serves the people of Kenya and also the people of Africa, as he serves the interest of imperialists across Western countries, Miriam. Because at the end of the day, Miriam, why do you want to do things that continue hacking us as a people, reminding us, as Namibia is saying, of the apartheid times? Why would they do what we do not want to be done? Mohamed Faki is serving the interest of Western resource greedy allies of the African people, and the African Union should be reformed, like Dr. David Matsanga is saying. And Miriam, without a bias in our hearts as the people of Africa, the African Union was not constituted or was not put in place to serve the interest of imperialists or people that work with Mohamed Faki. Mohamed Faki should respect the people of Africa, should respect member states across Africa who are members of the African Union, Miriam, because if he continues doing things that contradict the very stand of the member states in Africa, we continue operating as shell, contributing millions of dollars every year to African Union and meeting at Addis Ababa, Miriam, to listen to charity that has been churned out by imperialists from the West who continue controlling the African Union as a marionette, Miriam. An institution that cannot work for the interest of the African people, an institution that is based in Ethiopia, when Ethiopia is dying, when the people of Tigray are being chased away from their own country, when the people of Tigray continue being killed by an imperialist supported Ethiopian army and a prime minister that do not care about the people of Ethiopia, when the African Union continues sitting in Ethiopia, Miriam, where they cannot be able to speak, but we find Mohamed Faki going out of his way and admitting Israeli as an observer at the African Union, Miriam. What is that if that is not imperialism, Miriam? What are they doing over the situation in Tigray? What are they doing over different issues that affect and bedevil the people of Africa, Miriam? Like I said before, many months ago, we do not have confidence in Muhammad Faki at the AU, and the AU is not working for the benefit and the welfare of the African people. We continue taking millions of dollars there every year and trying to help that organization work for the interest of imperialists. That should be stopped. And Miriam, the interest of member states should be considered, whereas the interest of Muhammad Faki as a chairperson of the African Commission should be stopped, Miriam, because at the end of the day, Muhammad Faki continues working at the BS of under the instructions of imperialists across the West, where he picks his own instructions, whereas he does not listen to the people of Africa, nor solve the problems that bedevil the people of Africa. I submit, Miriam.
All right. Thank you so much. Daniel Osonga, I don't know if you're back and if you can hear me. All right. So it appears Daniel has a bit of a problem.
Yes, thank you, Miriam.
All right. So let me first pose the question to you, Daniel. Now, Musa Faki says his office has the prerogative to go ahead and admit anybody, to be an observer in the African Union. But there are some countries who have, for a long time, had an issue when it comes to her, especially the relationship between Israel and Palestine and what they consider as Israel occupying Palestine and all the atrocities and what we've been seeing. And even the recent, bombing and the fight that we see happen there. The chairperson of the African Union himself, Mohamed Musa Faki, condemned Israel's war on Gaza and its violent attacks against Palestinians in Jerusalem just a few, months ago. And owing to this history and how some member states feel very strongly towards Israel, would you have been prudent on his part to consult with member states first before admitting Israel as an observer for the African Union?
Miriam, first and foremost, we need to clarify things as they are in the African Union. First, we have to understand that the member states pay their subscription fee to the African Union. And therefore, if they're paying their subscription fee, it means they're paying to have a voice on the table of discussion. And therefore, Musa Muhammad Faki should not run the African Union like his own private candy shop. If these member states are beaten easy with an outsider coming to sit on the table, listening to whatever the African Union, whatever projection, whatever plans and agenda we have for our African continent, then their voices should be heard. And that is the same reason, Miriam, today I'll really, really strongly support the sentiments of my brother Douglas Krimi Bundi. But again, I support Dr. Matsanga David because he's an authority in this. He knows how the African Union operates. He knows whatever is comprised of the African Union. And Miriam, I'll tell you for a fact, the African Union, the organization itself, it was formed as a private chamber where the African people can be able to sit privately and be able to articulate and bring on the table the agenda and set the agenda for the African people. And therefore, to me, as an African man, I'll be able to perceive it as some kind of a bedroom where the African people can sit privately and discuss their own private matters in regards to their development agenda, in regards to their politics, in regards to the future of Africa. And as a bedroom, as I call it, you can never allow a neighbor or a third-party person to come to your bedroom as an observer to be seeing whatever you do, whatever plans you have for your house. So therefore, I think this particular decision by Musa Muhammad Faki and his cronies to admit Israel into the African Union as an observer state is actually ill-advised, and it's very, very awkward for the African people. And I support the countries like Namibia who have already expressed their discomfort by this particular admission. We can support Israel's policy in terms of the Israel-Palestine conflict, as Dr. Matsanga says. We can support their war against terrorism, but allowing them to be part and parcel and sit on the table of the African Union, that is actually auctioning our sovereignty as a continent. That is a high price in terms of our privacy as a continent. We cannot comfortably discuss our own agenda when another external state is actually monitoring on us. That is some aspect of bullying, Miriam, so to say. So I think we should not give him the prerogative to determine for the African people what we need to have in the African Union. And I oppose with totality, Miriam, the idea to admit Israel to sit on African Union on whatever capacity, Miriam. We should not allow it. I submit.
All right. Perhaps a little too late for that, because in July this year, when that happened, Israeli ambassador to Ethiopia already presented his credentials to the African Union headquarters there in Addis Ababa. But Doctor, with Israel now being admitted as an observer for the African Union, how is this likely to change the dynamics, and what kind of influence do you think Israel will bring in African Union in terms of, I don't know, elections and things like that, or just generally? Doc? Okay, we seemed to have lost to Doc there. Would you like to take a shot of that, Douglas and Daniel, and then we can just go?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
I want to tell you, to be frank, that I am neutral on this one. What the African heads of state are saying, the ones opposed to Israel entry into AU, are not saying they don't want it. But they are saying they should have sat down and deliberated on the entire subject. What the chairperson is doing or did was to use an obnoxious underhand way to introduce the matter and use his authority to bring in Israel. Nobody is opposed. Israel they are human beings. They can be in an organization. They are in the UN. Nobody has refused. But even in the UN, Palestine was allowed just a few days ago, a few years ago, you remember? The PLO was allowed to be in the UN after a long time. Remember the conflict of Palestinian and Israel started immediately after the settlement in the Middle East, 1947. That's after the Second World War. But the PLO was allowed, I think, in 1980s or 90s to become a full-fledged member of the United Nations. But it took time of discussion. What people are saying is there was no ample time of discussion. Nobody is disagreeing with Israel not coming to the African Union. But what do you bring in as an observer? What are the benefits of being an observer? Do you make decisions that are binding? Those are some of the questions that we shall ask at a later stage. But for now, let's agree that Mr. Muhammad Faki erred in just single-handedly as the chairperson of African Union admitting Israel without giving the member states, heads of state. And then later on, now he's brought a motion again to go to the executive of the African Union. Can you see that mess? That's a mess. That is what I want to submit. Two,
yes.
I want to submit. I'd forgotten that I needed to thank Wesonga. That thank you very much. Or that Miriam finish first, then I can
no,
thank.
I just wanted to add on to what you just said, Doctor, on your first point, owing to the fact that some member states of the African Union felt very strongly about certain issues towards Israel. So I think it would have been prudent for Faki's office to first consult and then make sure that other member states are comfortable, before reaching this decision. I think consultation here is the big word, but nobody's opposed to Israel, joining the observer mission for African Union. I just wanted to point that out. Okay. All right. Wasonga, would you like to? Is there anything else you'd like to, as we wait for Doc to conclude for us? Or Douglas? Douglas? All right. Doc, go ahead.
I think Douglas is gone.
Yeah.
I just want to thank all of you that today we finish as early as that. We have touched the topics that have touched the people. We have said the truth. We shall have a detailed discussion tomorrow. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of Punchline Africa TV to thank Mr. Sean Daniel Wesonga for taking one step forward towards Jerusalem and concluding the bonding of Jerusalem by getting married yesterday. Mr. Sean Wesonga, are you there?
Oh.
We were not able to turn up in your ceremony because some of us were in other places. I was still in Mombasa on the conference, but I believe Miriam will join me in congratulating Daniel Wesonga.
Absolutely.
Yes, the pictures that I saw are very stunning. And I encourage Kirimi and others. You seem to have a lot of sisters-in-law. So we thank you very much, those who are still, single. That is fantastic. You have done me proud. I'm proud. You have done me proud. I'm very, very proud of you, Sean Wesonga. Thank you very much. Oh, you are here.
Yes.
Those pictures are stunning, are fantastic. And I don't know, it is good that I did not appear there. Because all elders did not turn up.
Yes.
We wanted you, younger generation. But thank your wife. Now it is official.
Yes.
Maintain your home. Make sure that you don't quarrel with her. Make sure that when she starts to complain or make a complaint, don't insult or don't answer with anger. Walk away like your Uncle David. I always walk away and go and have a pinter and then come back when things have cooled down. I just like Miriam, the way she does look at things. I have always, Miriam cannot, Miriam can never believe this. But that is, we leave it to, let's also say it's all right. It's your, yes. Thank you very much, Miriam. And I think I pass your gratitude on your behalf. Unless you want to say something to Wesonga.
No, congratulations, Wesonga. And we wish you all the best in your new life.
Thank you.
You can see the way she says.
Thank you so much.
The way she
much.
says.
And of course, you guys were.
Yes.
All right. So we have to, Doctor, we have to leave now so that the newly wed can go and,
Okay.
start settling down.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much in the studio. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide.